Welcome to Agricultural Development Trust, Shardabai Pawar, Mahila Arts Commerce Science College, Shardanagar, Baramati. I am Professor Poonam Mishra, brought for you subject secretarial practice, in which we are learning chapter number 3, issue of shares. So students, till last video we had seen what is allotment of share, how it is allotted to the shareholders, and what are the procedures for allotment of shares. Now in today's video we will learn after allotment what happens. So student, once the allotment is done, shareholders or the applicant are allotted particular number of shares, and after that, when the allotment procedure gets over, then company decide that how much first installment should be made on a shares face value. Say for example, if Mr. A has purchased 10,000 equity shares of rupees 10, now the company have decided after allotment that the first call on these shares, out of the 10 rupees of the face value, only 5 rupees will be demanded by the company. So that will be known as a calls on shares. It means the first installment demanded by the company from the shareholders. So let's see what is written, students. It means the company is demanding the money against the shares allotted to them. So at the time, let's see, at the time of issue of shares, a company may state the issue price of the shares is to be paid in installment. As and when the company demand for it, means the issue price. So when a company demand the shareholder to pay a part, means some part of the face value or the full amount of all the shares, that unpaid shares, that is called as a calls on shares. Thus, besides the application money and allotment money, you know students that when the application money was paid by the applicant, when he submitted his application form, at that time he had paid the application money. After that, when the allotment letter was issued to him and allotment is done, at that time that member had paid the allotment money. If a company demand the balance unpaid amount on the share after the allotment, it is called as a calls on shares. The unpaid amount on partly paid shares is a liability of the shareholder. Exactly, students, because company has given certain number of shares to someone, and now that person is liable to pay the remaining amount on that shares, and that's why that calls on share is a liability of the shareholder. If the shareholder fails to pay the calls, company can forfeit the share. Yes, students, if the shareholder doesn't pay the call money whenever the company demand it, after reminding of twice or thrice, if the call money is being not collected by the shareholder, the company has a power, the company has a right to forfeit the share. Forfeit means to cancel the share of that shareholder. Calls can be made only by the board of director. You know, the apex body of the company are the board of director. They are the person who will take all the decision regarding all the affairs of the company. So likewise, the calls also will be decided by the board of director, and it will be in the interest of the company. Interest means benefit of the company. Company has to send a call letter notice to the shareholder asking them to pay the call money and give them minimum 14 days notice to pay the call money. So dear student, please remember this period, that after demanding the call money, company gives the period of 14 days to the shareholder to submit the call money. Okay students, so call money, actually it is intimated to the shareholder by sending the call letter or notice for the letter. No call can be made for more than 25% of the nominal value of the shares. So students, as I already gave one example to you. Say for example, Mr. A has purchased 10,000 shares of rupees 10, and the company will ask what will be the 25% of what will be the 25% of that face value. For of that face value, the 25% will be 2.5 rupees. So students, that 2.5 rupees will be the first call money, because it is already mentioned no call can be made for more than 25% of the nominal value of the shares. If they want to make the call money, it should not exceed the 25% of the face value. The gap between two calls means one call is made for 25% of the amount, and remaining call will be made for 25% and 25%, 25%. So the gap between two calls, between two demand of the money from the shareholder, should not be less than 1 month. It means if the company has demanded the call money in the month of June, so they cannot demand the second call money in the month of June only. There should be the gap of 1 month from the date of fix and for the payment of lost preceding call. The rules and procedures to make the call is given in the company's articles of association. Now students, we will see forfeiture of shares. Yes, also it is very important concept which you can have in your board examination. Forfeit, simple word of forfeiture is cancellation and removal of membership from the companies. So that is known as a forfeiture of shares. So here in this image you can see that KGF Limited and Anushka is a shareholder who failed to pay the call money despite of reminding so many times. Company have sent a reminder letter to her, but she was not able to even reply, and she even did not send the call money to the company's bank. So in this case, the company has a last option that they will cancel the share of Anushka. So that procedure, that concept is known as a forfeiture of share. So if a shareholder, let's see the explanation. If a shareholder fails to pay calls on share within a certain period, the board of director, if authorized by articles of association, you already know what is articles of association. It is a internal rule book of the company for the internal management. So student, if it is already mentioned in what scenario, in what situation the share will be forfeited. So say for example, if the Anushka is not able to pay the call money even after sending so many reminders, her share will be forfeited. So if authorized by the articles of association, can forfeit, that is take away the ownership of the member. So what is forfeiture? Taking away the ownership of the share of the company from the member. So this is called as a forfeiture of shares. Only partly paid up share can be forfeited. So I would like to tell you the difference between partly paid up and fully paid up. Partly paid up shares means students, half amount or some amount is paid and other payment is remaining on that share. Fully paid up means what? If 10,000 share is there and rupees 10 is a price of that, so all the money is fully paid up. If 10,000 into 10, so 1 lakh is a fully paid up amount of that share. If that shareholder has paid all the 1 lakh rupees, his or her share cannot be forfeited. So please student, remember this thing, that share can be forfeited only in case of partly paid shares, not in case of fully paid shares. To forfeit or to cancel the membership of particular member, the share should be partly paid, means some amount should be unpaid on his share even after sending the call letter or reminder letter to that shareholder. Now students, will see what will effect of the feature will be. So what will be the effect of the forfeiture after cancellation, after removal of membership? What will happen? So first, cessation of membership. So cessation means end of membership. Once the shares are forfeited, the membership of the shareholder will be cancelled. So on forfeiture, a member ceases to be member of a company, means ends the member of the company and loses all the rights, all the membership rights, and thus the member's name is removed from the register of member. What is the second effect after the forfeiture? Liability of the member. A member is liable for unpaid call even after the forfeiture of share. Yes, even after the forfeiture is done, that member is liable to pay the unpaid amount on his shares, and the liability ceases only when the company reissue the forfeited shares. Okay, and that liability on that shareholder, say for example Anushka is a shareholder who failed to do this, so that Anushka will be liable to pay the unpaid amount on that share till the date it will be reissued to some another person by the company. Third effect of the forfeiture is liquidation of company. Yes, liquidation of company means if a company goes for liquidation, liquidation word is used for winding up of the company, closing down of the company. So if the company goes for closing down within 1 year of the forfeiture, means from the date of forfeiture is done, from that date within 1 year the company is going to be close or wind up. The member whose shares have been forfeited is liable to pay the calls as a past member. So that person is totally liable to pay the calls on shares as a past member, because the company is not able to reissue that, so whole liability will goes to that person only. Now students, we will see next concept, that is surrender of shares. Yes, sometimes the shareholder think himself in advance that yes, I will not be able to make the payment on the dues or the call which will be made by the company in future. At that time the shareholder voluntary from his or her own wish goes to the company and asks the company to take the shares and to return his paid amount to the company. So let's see what is surrender. Surrender word is, you know what do you mean by surrender? Means voluntary giving something. So students, this means voluntary return of the shares by the member of company for cancellation. Yes, this is the voluntary return of share by the member of the company for cancellation of the membership. So difference between the forfeiture and surrender is, forfeiture is done by the forcefully by the company and surrender is done by voluntarily by the member of the company. So surrender of shares is allowed if there is no any option but to forfeit the shares. So surrender is allowed only in case if the shareholder thinks if I will not surrender the share to the company, they will forfeit my share. So better I should go to the company and surrender my shares. So only the partly paid up shares can be surrendered. Yes, that shareholder is not able to pay the remaining amount on the share, so this share will also be partly paid up only. Student, in case of fully paid up share, there is no need to make the call and no need to make the further payment, so there will not be the situation of forfeiture and surrender. It will be in case of only partly paid up shares. Surrender of shares can be reissued. Yes, like when the shares are forfeited, it is reissued to someone. That same likewise, the surrender of share can also be reissued in the same of the forfeited shares. The articles of association must provide for surrender of shares. Surrender of shares lead to reduction of capital, hence company avoid the surrender of share. And because of surrender of shares, there will be the reduction in the capital of the company, hence all the company avoid the surrender of shares. Now students, next concept we will see, that is transfer. You know the word transfer. Transfer means giving share by the member to some another person by his own wish, voluntary giving up his share to someone else. So let's see. So in the pic you can see the share, someone is giving share to someone else and that person is giving money to him. You know that equity share capital is also known as a venture capital. So whenever the equity shareholder feels that I don't want to continue the membership of this company, he can transfer the share to someone else and get the money from that person. So transfer of shares means voluntary transfer of shares by a member of a company in favor of another person. Now let's see. A member may transfer the shares for consideration. Why the person transfer the share? For taking the money value or give it away as a gift. And sometimes that person give that share to someone his relative and best friend as a gift. So every member has a right to transfer their shares. Every member who have allotted the share of a public limited company, you know only the public limited company can issue the share. So the person who have been allotted the share, that person has a right to transfer his share at any time to anyone. So in case of public limited company, shares are freely transferable, but in case of private limited company, it is not allowed and it is prohibited. Students, it is prohibited. You should delete the word not. It is prohibited means it is not allowed. A member has to apply for transfer by filling the instrument of transfer. So there is an application form which is known as a instrument of transfer. So the person or the member who wants to transfer the share, he has to fill that form. He has to fill the instrument of transfer and submit the share certificate along with the required fees to the company. So member who transfers the share is called as the transferor, and the person who buys the share is called as a transferee. A member can transfer either part or the entire share held by him. So the member can transfer either part of the share, some part of the shares, or entire, the total share held by him, purchased by him. Stamp duty has to be paid while transfer of shares, on the transfer of shares in a physical form. If the member has held the share certificate in a physical form, in that case he has to pay the stamp duty on the transfer of share. But if the share is held in a dematerialized form, electronic form, demat form, no stamp duty is payable by that member. Transfer is said to be completed when the transfer procedure said to be completed, when that transfer is registered in the register of member. It means the name of the old member will be removed and new members will be entered. At that time we can say that the transfer procedure is over. Once the share is transferred, that person's membership ends with the company. That person's membership gets over with the company. Now the last concept of this chapter will see transmission of shares. So students, transmission of shares is a long procedure, and basically this is the different from the forfeiture and transfer and calls on share. Transmission of shares happens because of the operation of the law. It is done by the court of the law when the shareholder or the member of the company become insolvent, or he become insane person, or sometimes there will be the death of the member. So in these three cases the shares are transferred to his legal representative or the representative which was appointed by the court of law. So transmission of share take place due to the operation of law, that is the shares of a member is automatically transferred to another person on the death, insolvency, insanity of the member. Insanity means unsound mind, mad person. Legal hair, so legal hair or representative initiate means start the process of transmission. Original liability of member continues means whatever the amount was payable or unpaid on that particular share, that will be continue even after the transmission of that shares. So there is no need to submit the instrument of transfer or to pay the stamp duty by the legal heir of the deceased member or the dead member. So let's summarize in what case the shares are transmitted and to whom. So if there is a death of the member, the share will be transferred to his legal heir. If the person became insane, means he became mad, to the legal guardian of the member. And in case of insolvency, that person has become bankrupt, so the share will be transmitted to the official receiver who was appointed by the court. So students, hope you understood the video and keep your doubts ready for tomorrow's Google Meet session. Meet you in the next video very soon.